Doom will rise. With Avengers Doomsday coming out next year, I wanted to go ahead and get the jump with my own version first. So first of all, I got this model from DO3D. I'm gonna leave a link down in the description. So for my take, I wanted to see what would happen if Dr. Doom was exiled and banished away. Then, once he returns, you see him all tattered up and beat up. Parts are hanging off of his helmet, just everything's messed up. That's the look I wanted to go for. So in this video, that's what I did. Also in this video, I went ahead and painted this chrome with a new technique that I haven't used before, and I aged the cheeks and added some LED lights to make this helmet pop. So if you want to see how I did this and got these amazing results, stay tuned to the end of the video because you do not want to miss out. Okay, so now I got the supports broken off, I have the magnets inserted. Now it's time to get down to sanding. I printed this with Polymaker CosPLA. I like doing my helmets with CosPLA because some might dispute this, but I think it's a lot easier to sand down the print. And it's a light PLA, so it's not as durable as a PLA Plus, but I think it works with the application that I'm using it for. So that being said, because I'm using a light PLA, I'm only gonna take it down with probably 120 grit sandpaper, and I'm really gonna focus on these top layers where I have the layer lines. The sides, I'm still gonna hit it, but not as heavy as I'm gonna hit the top, because I am gonna use Bondo and acetone to fill in those rest of those gaps. Right now, I resin printed the side cheeks because those have the most detail, and I really wanted to emphasize that for this build, and you'll see why later on. This is gonna be great. You guys, just wait. Okay, so remember when I told you guys that I like CosPLA because it's easier to sand and you don't have to worry about it, it's lighter? Well, there's a caveat to that, and that's if you sand too much, especially with an orbital sander, you have the risk of actually melting or going too deep because it sands. So I wanted to leave this in there because I think this is a very important teaching moment. Right here, there's two spots, right here and towards the back, where I left the orbital sander on there a little too long. Well, I gouged a deep little spot into the print, which I'm gonna have to fill in with some filler primer later. But I just wanted to tell you guys, be careful going, especially with the CosPLA and using an orbital sander, because if you leave it on there too long, you will ruin that part of your print. I think going forward, I'm going to hand sand. I knocked down the top layer lines of both the helmet and the back piece of the helmet. Now I'm gonna go with hand sanding from here on out. If you guys are new here, first of all, welcome. Second of all, this process is a acetone Bondo method. I usually use a 2 parts Bondo to 1 part acetone. Then once you have it the right consistency, you want it like a little thin mud, go ahead and add that all over the helmet. We're gonna sand this down almost all the way off, just leaving a smooth surface. So you can cake it on as much as you want to. You really don't need that much. And then, like I said before, we're gonna just sand it down. You wanna sand it down so there's basically no more texture on the print. Then we're gonna apply some primer filler. This is Duplicolor primer filler. It's a little bit more expensive. If you wanna go with a different brand, that's fine. They work just the same. I feel like this stuff sands so much better. We're gonna go ahead and wet sand that. I just skipped to a 400 grit, but if you have to, start with the 220 and then bump it up to a 400 grit sandpaper. Make sure I get all the little surfaces, nooks and crannies, because that will show on the final paint. Take your time. This is not a rush. Put on your favorite podcast and just chill out and do it. All right, guys, I'm back with a little bit of an update. So the helmet now is ready for paint. So just to roughly go over what I did, I sanded with 120 grit sandpaper with the orbital sander, got a little clumsy with it and took it down too far, but I was able to recover it. After that, I did the acetone Bondo method. I swear by it. Some people like to use resin. I like to go with the acetone because it's a lot more forgivable if you make a mistake. Resin is not so much. Once I applied a generous amount to the print, I sanded that down with 220 grit sandpaper until it was basically all gone. After that, I went ahead and applied a generous amount of primer filler to the print to make sure I get in each nook and cranny. Once that dried completely, I went over it with 400 grit sandpaper and a wet sand. Now, while I was going through the process of getting this ready for paint, I also wanted to test out some chrome paints for the finished product. Over here, I have two examples. I have a completed chrome, and then this one is a brushed aluminum chrome. Now, to get these ideas, I contacted a friend of mine, Off Earth 3D. I'm gonna leave his link down in the description below. Now, he probably paints the most realistic looking metal I have ever seen, like no exaggeration. So he took some of the time out of his busy schedule to sit down with me, and I wanted to explain exactly what I was looking for, and he gave me an example of paints, techniques, styles. So I went with that, and I think I'm gonna go with this brushed aluminum look. It looks the best. I was able to clear coat both of them. So now all we have to do is get this ready for paint. So here's the new painting method I used for this chrome paint job. First thing I did was apply this base black coat, and I made sure I got 2 coats, nice and even. Then I applied an even clear coat. This here is Finish 1. You can get this from Amazon. I'll leave a link down in the description below. You want to give the clear coat 24 hours to dry and cure. After that, I applied Scotch Brite, the Red Works. This is a really soft gray I found at Lowe's. And you want to just do even strokes to mimic the brushed aluminum look. Make sure you go in one direction. This is the Relux Motochrome. I'll also leave a link to the description. Right now, the website is kind of funky. You get these like warnings, but this is where I bought it from. And as you see, the first coat of chrome came out really good. Here I'm doing my second pass. It's very important that you do light coats and then build it on from there. Don't just go heavy trying to get that chrome look. You want to start off slow. I gave the chrome another 24 hours to dry. After that, I applied one more coat of clear just to protect it. Again, this is Finish 1 Clear. For $100 on Amazon, you get a gallon of clear plus a pint of hardener. So for the electronics, I went with this flexible LED filament. You can get this from Amazon. And I love these colors. It's a red and a yellow white color. They look really good. I tied it into the side of the cheek so it looks like it's exposed wire sticking out. Added some resistors to it. I just glued those on. They don't actually do anything, but it makes it look just like a PCB, so I kept them in that way. Here I'm making a 3-way switch so the battery can connect to the micro LEDs I put in one of the cheeks, the side filament, as well as the green eyes that glow. And I connected them all to a single 2032 flat battery. That way, all the drawing power will make the lights flicker like there's just not enough power. I went ahead and glued everything in there with some Cosplay glue sticks. And did a little bit of cable management with some electrical tape. And that's about it. Added some rub and buff with some Scotch-Brite. Makes it look like you get some scratches on there. This is where I added some washes. This is a red rust color wash. You're just gonna dab a little bit of it and wipe it off. You don't wanna have it sit too long because you want it to just look like it's just worn out. Then I have a black wash that I use to just give it some grime, add some more weathering to it, just dab it on there and rub it off. So I'm super stoked on how this came out. Best part of the helmet to me has to be the exposed electronics on the cheeks. Makes it seem like he's just been out there and he couldn't do any repairs. I love how the lights flicker and stuff like that. What an amazing result. Which other Avengers characters would you like to see me build? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you like this video and you learned something, go ahead and give that video a like, subscribe, and turn on that bell notification so you can get my next upload. Thank you guys so much. I just reached 6,000 subscribers, and that's because of people like you, and I love you guys so very much. If you guys want to see me build this Moon Knight helmet right here, go ahead and click on the link. Everybody have a great rest of your day. God bless y'all. Peace out.